Hey, welcome to Lady Overlander Radio. Tonight we're chatting with AR Family Expeditions. Stay tuned.
Grab your favorite drink, whether it's a coffee, cocktail, or tea, and get ready. It's Ladies' Night on Lady Overlander Radio.
Lady Overlander Radio is brought to you by Artemis Overland Hardware and the Moore Expo. Come see us at the Moore Expo April 8th through 10th, 2022.
Hey, everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks
Happy
for
St.
having
Patty's
us.
Day.
How's
Yeah, happy
everybody?
Good.
Say hi to my little co-host over there, Misty.
Hey, girl, hey.
Hey, girl, hey. I'm representing the green. Y'all got your green on?
Camry does.
All right.
I don't.
It
Oh, there's
don't-
green
it don't
here.
look-
Oh, here.
I do have camo.
That don't count. Your hat does count, but it doesn't look green. Not from here, anyways.
I love
Anyway,
the shirts, guys.
They are
Thank you.
awesome. So tonight we have AR Family Expeditions with us. I love the kids.
Hi.
I just want to stare at the kids. I just want to stare at your kids. So they got their setup already back there. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
I think that might be a first for us on our live shows that they staged it. I like it.
Mhm.
We're just gonna roll in.
Hi.
Tell us a little background on yourselves for everybody that's watching right now.
Okay. Well, my parents actually started me out camping when I was really young, which we kind of went a little bit backwards in our overlanding journey. Crystal and I got married in 2005, and we started out with a travel trailer, and we went to RV parks and stuff like that in Colorado, and we traveled and we camped in that fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually kind of got a little lucky in the beginning of 2020 when COVID hit. We actually sold our camper, and we were in the process of trying to find another one when all that craziness happened. And we ended up kind of re-gearing, and we bought a truck camper, and we done that for a little bit. And through a couple of little situations, we'd sold our truck camper, and the one that we wanted to buy fell through. And so we kind of started, looking at different options and everything. And we actually was watching YouTube, and we seen this couple that would tent. And so we started out with a ground tent, and it just kind of ballooned from there. Next thing you know, we've got a Jeep and a rooftop tent, and we've been all over the place so far. So
our first camping trip was actually with a tent in the Jeep. So, I mean, as far as, outside of a fancy camper.
Right.
Nice.
So I think Misty and I have similar stories there.
In there, yeah.
Started with the camper, going to RV, parks and
We kind of went
stuff.
backwards.
And then we went to a ground tent, went to Colorado. That was not fun. The whole thing ended up with rooftop tents. Now we have two. Yeah. Same with Misty.
Yep.
It didn't take me one night in a ground tent to figure out I wanted to be on top.
That's right. I didn't know.
For sure.
Air up mattress, like a regular old school air up mattress, is no bueno. It loses the air. You wake up on the ground in the middle of the night.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am, you sure do.
It's not any fun. Just want to say, if y'all got any questions, throw them up there, and Misty will throw them out there, and we'll definitely ask our guests. Okay.
Absolutely.
Walk us through your overland build. What have you done to your 2017 Jeep?
okay, well, to start out, it's a 2017 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. It's the Recon Edition, and a lot of the stuff was already kind of done to it, as far as it has a amp research power steps, method racing wheels, and Toyo tires. they were already on the Jeep when I purchased it. So I was already kind of set up there. And so from there, I just kind of added, I think the first thing I really done was add some steel fenders because I knew what route we were wanting to take, going with a rooftop tent. And so I wanted something really nice and heavy duty that I could possibly stand on to help open up a tent or something in that fashion. So we put some steel metal fenders on. And then one of our first camping trips was actually down to the Rendezvous of the Ozarks. And we'd camped out down there. And Crystal here, she got with Aaron from Artemis Overland, and she done some haggling and bought a bunch of stuff.
That's easy.
So by the time we left the Jeep, I felt embarrassed. You could hear the tires rubbing. We had it loaded to all get up. And so the next step was I went with a set of Terraflex Outback springs, which was a really good load-rated spring.
Yep.
And that also helped with the rooftop tent aspect, with the weight distribution and everything. And we've added ARB dual compressor. We've got the Vector Off-Road E-Dock. We've got 60 set, which are our hookups for our tablet, our phones, and all of our mounts. We've kind of got a Frankenstein going on. We've got a little bit of mix of a RAM mount, 67 designs, and bullet point mounting solutions as far as for that goes. But it's still, as you know, work in progress. So
always.
Yeah.
I've actually got new shocks on the way because after our Texas trip, getting in some of those little bit flexier areas, after I put the Outback springs on, it raised the Jeep up a little bit higher. And so with the shocks that was on it in the beginning, it wouldn't allow it to travel as much. And so I ordered a brand new set of shocks for it that hopefully will be in next week. And we'll get them on where maybe we can take it back out on the trail real soon.
What did you end up going with on that?
Bill Steen, the 5100s.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, that's what's on it actually right now, but it's for the stock to 2.5 inch lift, I think. And the ones I've got is for the 3.5 to 5 inch lift, which mine's technically a 4.
Yeah.
So that hopefully
Yeah.
that hopefully will give us a little bit more articulation where if we get in the little off-camber places and everything, it'll help us out.
Yeah, it's a constant change. I think you go out and then you realize you got a lot of weight.
Oh yeah,
and you change your setup. You got to have stiffer springs, all the things.
Oh yeah.
Constant. It really does just mean just empty every pocket. That is literally what Jeep means.
Yeah.
No, it ain't just Jeeps.
I tried to get him to get his spreadsheet out, and I tried to get him to put all the parts in like Excel because I wanted to know the total.
No, you don't.
No,
you really don't.
I know it's a fluid total anyway, so
I want to know what's sitting back there, penny wise.
We built two, and
that's what's sitting back there. A lot of fun.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we love the relaxation that the camper life brings because you're going to RV parks and stuff like that. But this is what I always wanted. Never knew that I always wanted to do. Just getting out and being able to go in the places that we've gone and camped and been able to experience. It's just kind of opened a brand new world to us, and we're ready to explore it
without having to backtrack. No backtracking.
No.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a fan of that either.
I feel like when RV life, after a while, one campground's the same as the next, unless you're really getting out there and boondocking, if you're able to.
Right.
It just kind of feels like just a smaller, more condensed neighborhood.
It is.
And after a while, I mean, it's fun, but after a while, you just kind of crave something more.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, there's a couple things there. There's, a lot of the amenities are great, right? But we can also get those in what we're doing now with overlanding. But also, there's just been such a growth of everybody getting travel trailers and whatnot that you can't even get booked into a place anymore.
Yeah.
No.
That was a challenge for us the last year we had ours, just not being able to get into any of our favorite parks because there's so many out there now.
Right.
And there's just not enough places to go.
Yeah, when we first started, the campgrounds that's up here locally, you could pretty well show up on a Friday night without reservations and pick a spot.
Yeah.
And year by year, you could see it kind of like filling up and everything. And then, like I said, especially when COVID hit, a lot of people not being able to do the traveling that they were used to doing.
Right.
They got to buying travel trailers and stuff like that. And so even to get a reservation, if you wasn't sitting on the computer
6 months in advance.
Yeah, 6 months in advance, you just were out of luck on a campsite. And so now we just kind of go wherever we want and
That's right.
set it up.
And decide to go the same day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
gives you a lot more freedom and a lot more ability to just kind of do that spontaneous stuff, I
Right.
think.
Yeah.
And you get to see all these things you wouldn't see in your RV unless you
Exactly.
backpacked to it
Yes.
Yeah.
or whatever. I mean, you can pull right up to an epic view
Absolutely.
And camp there.
and be
Usually.
there for however long you feel like it, you know? So, yeah. What would you say is a common misconception people may have about your family, if any?
Oh.
Oh, yeah. What I love is people see, and not just about our family, but about the setup. They're like, oh, you've got Rubicon. Well, that's a bunch of money. You got a bunch of money sitting back there. And you really don't. You just take it in strides. You do it slowly, and anybody can have it. You don't have to be rich necessarily to have it. I mean, we work hard so that we can play easy and have fun. So, and that's probably maybe a common misconception with any people who overland is they think you're loaded or something, but you're not.
Right.
Let's be real. We're not.
Yeah. I mean, by all rights, this build right here has been over a year in the making just by itself, you know, piece by piece.
Yep.
You know, paycheck by paycheck.
Yes.
Oh yeah. And it's never done. Like you said, there's
No.
always something that needs to be like at some point things need to be replaced. And
Mm-hmm.
we're getting ready to put a new roof rack on my husband's Jeep. And we just got a new rooftop tent because we wore out the Tepui we had.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just a constant, you know,
Yeah,
that's the build
ours.
process.
We started out with a Smitty built, and then I found this iCamper up in Illinois and drove up to Illinois and went and picked it up just shortly before our Big Bend trip, really. And so that was actually our first time staying in it, I believe, was Big Bend. And so it definitely is a work in progress.
Are you happy with the iCamper? Do you like it?
Yes, very much so.
Set up and
Quick.
on is so much faster.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
like I mean, trying to keep up with little kids and everything, I can't get up there and be helping him all the time because I'm trying to keep up with the children, and he can get up there and close it within seconds by himself, and that's amazing. Just
it's super quick. We love the Smitty built that we started out with. It was a really, really great setup. The one thing that we've got to get is an annex room. When we bought the Smitty built, we bought it used, and the gentleman threw in the annex room with it. And I thought in the beginning we would never use it, you know. And then I set it up one day when we were camping, and we found out exactly how
handy they are.
They actually
are.
And so that is one of the things that's on our wish list is the annex room for the iCamper now, just because we've got spoiled to that. And
so, I have the Smitty built XL tent right now on the Land Cruiser, but I will be. Aaron just kind of cued me in that he's going to be getting some new iCampers tents in, so I'm going to be saving up for that. Yeah.
There's a list, sister. There's a list. I'm on it.
A little upgrade.
Yeah, I think
I'm on the list somewhere, probably at the bottom, but I'm on the list.
We're doing that also for the
I
Gladiator.
guarantee they'll keep pumping them out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Right now we're looking mid-April.
Wow.
Really?
State.
Yeah, it'll be after more.
Well, hey,
Pretty
that's
sad.
still.
Aaron needs to hurry for sure.
Hurry up,
Looking
Aaron.
for an annex room, reach out to Aaron and Artemis. Small plug.
That's where we've actually talked to Aaron. We actually missed Aaron not very long ago. We went up to see him after our Big Bend trip,
Mhm.
and we were going to try to buy an annex room, and I didn't even ask him what time he closed on a Saturday.
Oh
Showed
no!
up.
We like passed him on the road.
Yeah, we passed him on the road, and I told Crystal,
Like waving
I
him
said,
down.
"There goes Aaron." And so we get to Artemis, and it's closed, and of course it was 2 p.m. and we were there
We
at like
called him, but
2:10.
yeah, he's like,
We
I got
just
places
missed
to
it.
be.
Yeah, he said he'd come back, but we just haven't been back up there to visit with him and try to con him out of an annex room for the iCamper yet.
I'll tell you what, go to Riggs and Coffee up there, and it costs a penny every time we roll up in
Yeah.
there.
Oh, I bet.
This
Most
last time
expensive
was,
coffee, man.
well, ordered a tent and got lots of other stuff. Yeah, that coffee was way more expensive than Starbucks or Seven Brew. I promise you, but it's still good. Still good.
Yeah.
I just wanted to remind the audience real quick, please feel free to ask any questions that you may have for this family. They'll be happy to answer them. Just go ahead and drop it in the comments.
Yeah, I see Danny Ratliff. She's on here.
Hey.
Hey,
Just wants to know when we're all going on a trail ride.
soon.
Oh, I'm not seeing that.
You're not seeing that?
No, that's why I was saying I don't have any questions from nobody.
What's going on, ma'am?
I didn't know.
But Danny, very
Oh,
soon.
wow. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes. Hello, everyone. Wow. Welcome
Wow. Are you drinking green beer?
back.
What's going on?
No, it's not beer.
No, but she is rocking her Toyota cup.
Yeah.
I am. Okay, we do have a question. When
Let's
are we
hear
all
it.
going on a trail ride?
Told you.
Soon. The great thing about Arkansas, which is the most beautiful state in the whole wide world, outside of all the other places we travel, is that Ozark National Forest is just right there. And that place is gorgeous. And there's so many neat trails that we haven't even got to all experience. So, I mean, you can just hop down there and we can do day trips anytime. We just got to plan it.
That's right. Absolutely.
Who needs to hurry?
Yeah.
3.0 is calling all of our names.
Somebody's a little antsy in the garage.
Well, I will say one thing that is either a pro or a con to this iCamper, that the 3.0 will probably even be better than this one, is the Smittybilt. Pretty well, when the sun comes up, you get daylight coming in. This here is like a dark tent. If you want to sleep in,
That's
you
me.
definitely
Yeah,
have
for
the
sure.
option.
That's me.
It blocks out a lot more sun than the Smittybilt did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's a good thing or not, but if especially if you've been on the road for 18, 20 hours straight and you're ready to get a good night's sleep, that definitely comes in handy to get just an extra hour or two.
Oh, yeah.
The Howling Moon is good about that as well. That new Howling Moon tents. They're really dark in there. It's like blackout curtains in there. It's pretty nice.
Mhm.
Yep. We've got
All
that
right.
Rome tent that's like that on the Gladiator right now, and it's real dark.
Pat's Off-Road would like to know dream trip.
Yeah, Tony wants to know dream trip.
My absolute dream trip would be to be able to go up and overland through Canada and end up kind of in the Alaska, Yukon area. I can't remember what that place is called up there in the very far northern tip. We've watched a lot of people.
The great blue water there. Starts with a B. I believe it starts with a B. I'm thinking here. It's on the list.
I would say that has absolutely got to be the dream trip.
You can't cross the border with much, so we made states.
Which we'll have to see how it all goes. Who knows? That might be one of those that
15 years in retirement, maybe.
We'll have to see how it goes, but we've got quite a few things that's on our mind that we would like to do
for 2022.
That's kind of the great thing about America is so many people want to leave this country and go to Paris and Europe and everything. And I don't think they realize what beauty there is in America to actually, if you get out and just go and see. And so that's like on the eastern coast where y'all are getting ready to head. It's been, well, I was a kid last time I was out through there, and I would love to go back, go through the Smoky Mountains, and check out the Nemo Tunnel and
Yes.
stuff like that. And we haven't really traveled a whole lot east. We've been
We're
concentrated
huge.
a little bit west.
Yeah, we're West people too. But
which-
he's been West his whole life.
Yeah, and
He was born West, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, I've been pretty well going out to Colorado
Since he was 5.
since
Since he was
I was 5. So
Oh,
for
wow.
35 years.
Yes.
And it's Arizona. A good friend of ours, Chad Morris with Trail Exploration, he was telling us while we were there in Big Bend about how he absolutely loved Arizona, and that is one place I haven't really got to explore much with. And
We would like to check off all the national parks.
Yeah.
I mean, in reality.
especially with us with kids, the
Right.
national
Yeah.
park got that junior ranger program.
Oh yeah.
And we absolutely love doing that with them.
Right.
And it's lots of fun, and it gives you a good chance to go in and check out the national parks and learn a little bit, even with your kids.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And he's the biggest junior ranger of them all.
The big
got a
kid.
badge.
Yeah, I actually earned my first badge in Big Bend.
'Cause
There
there's
you
not
go.
an
Good
age limit
job.
on it, No, there's not an age limit, so anybody can get it.
Yeah, my badge is hanging up in the Jeep.
My
You
husband
go.
has had his national parks passport since he was a teen when he was
Oh,
driving around with
cool.
his friends on a trip, and he
Yeah.
still gets stamps in it. Like he's had it for
Awesome.
quite a few years.
We just got ours in Big Bend, so we're new to it.
Yeah.
A lot of work to do. Yeah.
So Danny would like to know, are we going to see you at More Expo?
Yes, we will probably only be there Saturday
For the day.
Okay.
Straight.
for the day, but we will be at more Saturday.
Awesome.
Nice.
Can't wait to see you there.
Yes, it'll be a good time.
And Bats
Yes.
Off-Road would like to know if you use Gaia.
Mhm.
We do use Gaia. That is my main go-to for everything. I love it. I've tried on X-Road or on
On X.
do
Off-road, yeah.
On X off road.
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
X off road.
And, I think it's a really great program, but for some reason, I did have difficulties with Gaia in the beginning, just trying to learn the interface and everything. But and I'm still actually learning. But once I got a good handle on it, I absolutely loved Gaia. That's a great way to go out and just show the trails that you've done. It's a good way to, even if you're sitting at home not doing anything, you can look on there and try to find possible campsites, which I'm really
He does
bad.
all the time.
I'm really bad to do. And
He's on his iPad all the time.
yeah, but
Hey.
I mean, it's a great tool for anybody overlanding or even traveling for that matter that wants to go. I wished I actually had used it back when we were
Years
riding
ago.
side by sides in Colorado.
Right.
Just to be able to keep track of where you've been and what you've done would have been a great thing to know about before we had.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's what we use too.
yeah. Yes, we have found the national parks layer. I only actually use it as we go pretty well into national parks, like when we went to Big Bend. We used it, and I've looked at it a little bit back when we was in Utah first of last year. But I usually kind of toggle that one on and off just because of the space that it takes up. But it's a really good layer, the national parks layer.
Yeah, that's a lot of really cool layers. I like that It shows you the cell phone coverage for different providers. There's all different kinds of things you can add and
Even though
take
half
off of
the
there.
time that's not really
Yeah.
accurate.
It might be a guess, but yeah, it gives you
Yeah.
some kind of idea most of the
Yeah.
time. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah,
been a few
which,
times where it said we had signal, and I'm like,
Yep.
no, we don't.
Don't have nothing.
Nothing.
But yeah, the motor vehicle use map,
Mhm.
all the USGS or United States for USFS road maps and everything. It having those kind of layers on your Gaia work great. I love it.
Oh yeah, it's good to know which trails are open and closed and what the
Yes.
status of them are.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So for you guys, what parts of overland do your kids like?
They really, really like it when we go somewhere where we can hike. They love to get out and play. We kind of got pretty tickled when we went first of the year or the beginning of last year when we went to Moab. Our first campsite was at in Valley of the Gods, and
They just
Love that place.
oh yeah, and
forever.
they just went nuts playing in the sand and stuff like that. Because of Venture Forward, Chris Shantz, we watch him a lot. My oldest daughter, she learned about cairns, and so now
everywhere we go.
she'll go and she'll make little cairns, which is stacking rocks one on top of one, and just kind of leave a little deal that she made at every campsite that we stay at. And
That's
so
awesome.
stuff like that is really, really special, which, like I said, it was something that I was brought up in. And so getting my kids outside and letting them play and just experience stuff outside the electronic technology stuff as far as TVs, tablets, phones.
Oh yeah. That's why we do it. Get them away from that stuff for a while.
Yeah.
I have to tell you a funny story. I bought groceries earlier this week, and I bought Chase some muffins so he could have them for breakfast. And my little three-year-old Creed, he said, "Oh, muffins? We go camping?" Because we always get muffins for breakfast and stuff. And he's like, "Camping? We're going camping?
Aw.
We're going camping?" And anytime you see a Jeep on the road, we're Jeeping. Like, he is eat up with it.
Yeah.
They love it.
That's good.
That's so awesome. That's great.
That's really good. What would you say they're not crazy about as far as doing the overlanding?
Being stuck in the car.
Yeah, the road time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, which that again, there's a pro and con to technology. Tablets help give them something to kind of occupy their time while they're riding in the car, which we actually try to do a lot of night driving just for the plain fact of letting them sleep
to get to the destination.
Yeah.
stuff like that. And so that way it's not so hard on them. But I would say that's the biggest thing, just because driving all the way from Arkansas to out west, most of the time from where we're at, you're looking at least 14 to 18 hour drive.
Yeah.
And
yeah, if you do it all in one day, it's for sure. It's long.
And which with our work schedules and stuff, we kind of have to
pack it in.
Get it out there.
We kind of have to tag team the driving when we go out there because we want to spend as much time in the area that we want to go as possible. So
we tend to leave, after work one day, and we'll drive all night and get there the next day, next morning. And
I can't drive though. I can't do the all night drive.
We get in that.
Retired from that now. We're gonna stop somewhere and go to sleep because I can't. We can't do it no more.
Yeah, we don't do more than about 4 hours a day, but we don't have the time constraints that a lot of other people have either. So it's just the kids are older now and they're like, nah, we're not going to sit in the car for this long.
Right. I can't sit in the car that long, to be honest.
I don't want to, but it's kind of looking at the rainbow at the end of the tunnel.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The sacrifice.
And so far, it's been well worth it.
Awesome. Well, I know we've already somebody's already asked you about your dream trip, so we're done with that one already. What's been your absolute best moment as a family out overlanding this lifestyle we do?
I don't know. I think just seeing the love the kids have for it, and then their face light up when they see a new place or something that they haven't seen before. The mountains. They just love it, and seeing their face light up. And us just being able to be together and unhooking, because we go a lot of places where there isn't, cell phone reception. So we unhook.
That's another big reason why I love it.
So, I mean, just being together, that's the best part.
That is the best part.
Yeah.
So Danny would like to know what radio you guys are using. Do you guys have radios you use?
Yes, we do. We actually, as far as hard mounted in the Jeep, we've got the Midland. I think it's the MX 275 or the MXT
275.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. We put that in the Jeep, and then we actually have just a little handheld Baofeng little radio. I think it's like the UV5R or something like that radio.
And then the little handheld Midlands.
And one of the best tools that we've got, the kids got for free at the
Rendezvous.
Yeah. The little Midlands.
Yeah,
Midland.
Yeah, Midland.
They are the best,
and they sync right up to our radios, and so we can use them if we're on a trail that we need spotted or we need to spot somebody else. We can just grab one of them, power it on real quick, and run out and just do whatever we need to do. And but so far, Midland, they've been a great company, and I'm really impressed with the products.
Yeah, they're a great company for sure.
Hands down. That whole thing at Rendezvous with the kids all getting the radios was really cool, but not.
That was a trip.
It actually
the wrong channels, and oh boy.
Yeah, they got to designate channels.
Yeah, and when we were coming down in to where Rendezvous was, all of a sudden we started getting all this kids chatter on our radio. And, well, what person is letting their kids talk on the radio?
Right.
And then we pull into the Rendezvous and we see all these kids running around with little talkies and everything. And then
they had to change channels because the kids were all on them.
Well, it's funny. We have one of my kids had theirs in our off-grid cabin in Arizona, and we were picking up a guy who said his location, and he was about an hour and a half away from where we were.
Really?
Yeah, it was funny.
Wow.
Really?
Oh yeah, just the little kids ones they were handing out.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know what the range is on those that we got at the Rendezvous, but I mean they
pretty good.
Really, and
Wow.
for them giving them away at the Rendezvous, I wouldn't think that they would be a really high-end radio. And I mean, they pick up great.
They do. Well-made product.
We have a couple of those here, like a blue one and a green one, I think, the kid ones. But we ended up with two. I'm not really sure how that happened, but we ended up with two for one kid. So, yeah, she loves it.
So, Tony'd like to know what your favorite camp meal is.
Well, now that will probably disappoint a little bit because a lot of times we're pretty lean so far on the camp meals.
We like to enjoy it. We like to just relax.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to do all that cooking. I make my husband do the cooking when we camp.
Hey, Professor likes to cook. We let him do it.
Yeah, we let the Professor cook too.
Yeah, most of the time we do. Yeah, most of the time we usually do stuff like hot dogs, hamburgers, stuff like that. I have cooked steak and mashed potatoes at some campsites that I've been to. But it's usually pretty simple meals because we've just been out riding all day, and by the time we get home or get to camp and get everything set up and ready, we're just ready for something easy where we can relax.
Right.
Imagine that, just wanting to do some camping meals when you're camping, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
We don't
Make
get
it easy
Easy camping meals.
for
grilled
sure.
cheese. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
With
Easier.
pepperoni.
That sounds
Oh.
amazing.
It is.
So easy. A sandwich is fine with me. I don't care.
Well, and that's,
Yeah, I'm with you.
that's what we done a lot in Big Bend. We just bought some lunch meat and some sandwich bread, and we just made
Made a sandwich.
sandwiches. Yeah.
Now, do you guys have a fridge in there?
Yeah. Yes, we do. It's Alpi Cool.
Okay.
I bought off Amazon.
Yep.
I did upgrade. It's the LG 55 model. I did upgrade it from the standard Alpicool model to the LG version, which I used to be in the furniture and appliance business. So I kind of knew LG and I knew that was a good brand. So I went ahead and I paid a little extra money to go with the LG model.
Mm-hmm.
But so far we've used it, not had one difficulty whatsoever with it, and it's also Bluetooth capable, so I can with my phone up on the dash, I can check it and make sure that the temperatures are where it's supposed to be. And I mean, even before I actually did upgrade recently to a Genesis dual battery system, which should hopefully help. But even when we were running in Moab and Colorado in May and June of last year, especially Moab, you were looking at 90, 100-degree days.
Mm-hmm.
And we never once ran out of power, even on just a standard Jeep battery single. So, especially with this new Genesis setup, hopefully that definitely won't be another issue in the future.
Nice. Very nice. So, Arla, I think we need to take a little break here and
Yes, ma'am.
shout out to our sponsor, More Expo. So, we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
More Expo people. Be there, be square.
Only a couple
April-
weeks away.
Yeah, April 8th through the 10th. If you have not been, you are missing out.
For sure.
Yeah,
Missing
we'll be going up with some friends of ours who just recently bought a Jeep.
Yes.
And I can't wait to see how they respond to that. It grows every year. And it just.
And Artemis has the biggest booth.
They always have a great booth.
Fancy.
Yeah.
They really do. They really do. And the size of it this year, it's even had to move outside.
Oh, wow.
They're having a new section called Storyteller section. That's where Misty and I will be at more, representing our channels and Lady Overland Radio. So definitely come out and see us. But yeah, we're excited about it. We're real excited about it. So, what's been your biggest challenge you face or craziest thing that has happened to you while overlanding, and how did you overcome it?
Hi.
Hi.
I would say just the unknown. Our Moab, Colorado trip last year, was the first time I ever done something like that where I didn't really have a plan. I had a general idea of where some campsites were, but I night to night I didn't know where we would be. And I will have to say that even as nerve-wracking as what it was, it actually worked out great. We had some of the absolute best campsites. I'll tell you a little story just real quick. When we got to Moab, we were on the north side, and I had some campsites that I'd found, and we were up there, and we went down this dirt road to the campsites, and they were all full. And the people that we were actually overlanding with at the time, we'd stopped at this junction, and I told them, I said, well, I was looking on my Gaia, and I seen we're at this T that we were sitting at. It was just a dead end. And I said, well, this is a dead end here. I said, let's go and check that out and see what it looks like. And if not, we might have to do something else, because I don't know. And we ended up going down this dead end road and found one of the most absolute beautiful campsites that I've ever stayed at. And I could have easily had stayed there another 2 or 3 days just for the exploring of it. It was so beautiful, and it was just didn't have no idea where we were at, what we were doing, and just finding places like that was just absolutely amazing, and we loved it. So it really worked out really great. But that is, I think, and that probably will still be for the future, just the
unknown.
Just the unknown. But that's also kind of what makes it exciting.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, so I'm kind of a planner, but I'm starting to learn that as you go out and do these things and you kind of figure out where you're wanting to go, those places might be taken. It's starting to get dark. So there's a little bit of stress that's added there, but then you might end up somewhere completely epic.
Yeah. Got to go with the flow sometimes. See where you end up.
And that's exactly what happened to us. We did just finding sites like that. And, we ended up on our Moab trip. The kids, they love dinosaurs. And so we took them to the dinosaur tracks. And while we were up there at the dinosaur tracks, we actually seen a sign that said Colorado ahead. And so when we got done doing the little trail there at the dinosaur tracks, I asked the other family that we were with, I said, well, do y'all want to just see where this road goes, or do y'all want to go back to Moab? And they said, well, let's see where this goes. And we ended up taking that dirt road all the way into Gateway, Colorado, and we found a beautiful campsite right on the river there. And it's stuff like that just kind of almost living by the seat of your pants, more or less, and just doing whatever the mood strikes you. It's that's kind of the fun part.
Trying to get him to go turn his lights on the Jeep so you can see how lit it can get.
Yeah, you guys are getting a little dark there.
Have to go inside.
Connie says sometimes not having an agenda is the best. That's the truth.
Yep, it is.
Well, like the Big Bend trip, we were lucky, but we were in church and he texts me and he's like, we're going to Big Bend tonight. Okay. Sure. So we did.
Wow. Yeah, we
nice.
Okay. I don't know if I can roll like that. That's a little that's a big trip. That's not like just going out in the Ozarks for the weekend. It's a haul.
Which Chad Morris had reached out to us on Instagram and invited us to this Big Bend trip, and we'd kind of planned on it, but due to our family and our lifestyle, it's kind of hard to make future plans. We never know what's coming up, of course, with young kids and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so he had actually messaged me a couple of days before, and he said, "Are you guys going to make it?" And I said, "No, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to make it." And then everything kind of fell into place.
Well, the boss just said we were going.
And
Basically how it went.
yeah, and so we were in church, and I just made up my mind. I was like, "Yeah, let's do it. We've got an opening. Everything isn't hectic right now, so let's do it." So,
And I bet you're really glad you did.
Yeah.
oh, we did.
We had a blast.
Yeah.
we had an
The weather down there was great. We were there at the same time as they were. They camped in the next spot over from us.
Yeah, and I'd been talking to
It was nice.
Tony for a while now, and we traded patches and stickers and everything, and then finally getting to meet him and Miss Arla.
Uh-huh, you got us.
And then getting to see Aaron there again, and getting to meet the Brofessor,
Yeah, buddy.
and just doing stuff like that. And then we also met some great people in our group. It was the first time we had actually done a group meet like that,
And no one knew each other, so it was perfect.
That's cool.
It was kind of different, but it ended up being such a great trip because you met and you got to sit and talk with people that have the same mindset as you, and you get to look at their builds and see where they're going with their stuff, and get ideas and make future plans for what you want to do and everything. And so it was a really, really good opportunity, and I'm glad that we were able to go, and I'm glad that we were invited to go.
Absolutely.
We might have to move inside.
Uh-oh. Yeah, we cannot see. We can see your ladder. That's about it.
That's about it.
You want to turn on?
The lights will turn on, but I think it'll blur us out.
Oh.
It might blare us out.
Maybe we could just see your shadow.
Your hourglass.
It's not as dark as it actually looks here.
Yeah, for some reason the camera's making it look really dark. Oh, there you go.
Turn it on. Was that bad?
I don't know.
Yeah. It's too
Yeah.
much there.
Eh,
Set the mood.
that's
We'll
how
make
it
it
is
work.
live. Whatever.
We roll with it. We're
We can go
overlanders.
inside if that makes y'all feel better, for sure.
No, you're
no.
good.
Not at all.
Oh, we can see you. You're good
Matter
now.
of fact, we can move outside if you want. I just got to unconnect everything.
Oh,
We could do that.
I go sit out by the pool.
Well, we've
Don't
seen
brag.
previous episodes and everything else, and so we wanted to actually be outside and do this podcast. So
Perfect.
Connie says, "Hey, they are camping live."
hey,
for sure.
Should we tell her?
No.
No, we're camping. They're camping.
No. Log on earlier to know the secrets.
In our front yard of our family expeditions.
That's right. That's right. Front yard camping. How about that?
That's right.
Who would you say your biggest pet peeve is when you're out on the trail?
Him. I'm just kidding.
I love you, Crystal.
no, probably the biggest pet peeve is as far as for me as the driver, most of the time on trails, is more or less the rules of the road not being followed. The age-old, rules that I was grown up following and everything else. Especially that is the one thing I'll have to say about is like out in Colorado doing a lot of those like alpine loops and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is you meet so many more people anymore, and I guess it's the courtesy aspect. My mom and dad, I think, done a pretty good job raising me, and I try to follow the rules and everything else, and just seeing people go out and another thing is going to campsites that's been trashed, and that's one thing though
Oh, yeah.
too, in a
And
way,
don't take your Cadillac down a 4x4 trail. It's not very smart.
but
Oh,
that is one thing I will have to say is, however, taking kids camping, we've gone to campsites that have been trashed up and everything. And one of the first things that we're doing when we get there, if there's something to be picked up, we get out as a family and we pick up the trash. The kids learn to pick up the trash, not to leave anything back behind.
mm-hmm.
And
Oh yeah.
that's one of the last things that we do when we're leaving the campsite is I ask everybody, is everything cleaned up? You know,
We
is
do
there
that too.
trash?
Yeah.
And, you know, I think in a way that also helps the younger generation growing up because, you know, if they're all the time in the towns or cities and stuff like that, where they just see litter and trash and everything, that I think that becomes a bad habit. And when you go out camping like this and overlanding, you get to, you know, kind of like teach kids, if you've got a good foundation, to pick up after themselves, clean up trash, not to leave stuff behind, you know, pack in, pack out.
Yeah, and when you're in a city, you know, they're assuming, oh, somebody else is going to get that, or the trash company or something like that, a service is coming. But out in the wilderness, if you don't pick it up, who else will?
Nobody
You know,
does.
Exactly.
unfortunately, we've gone to many a campsite where it's just been
Nasty.
trashed, and for whatever reason, people always use the fire pit as the
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
trash ring. I don't
Cans,
know,
bottles, and the
Yeah.
and the fire ring every time.
broken glass, everything.
Yep.
It's just terrible. That's something we definitely teach our children as well, and we always clean up a site before we leave it.
Mhm.
That's one of their jobs before we leave, actually.
That, well, and speaking of which, actually, that was my very first purchase was a trasharoo just for that. You know, it was just to be able to have.
And that's where
know,
you carry the annex room too,
Yeah.
to save space.
Sure.
Yeah, and then once we kind of evolved a little bit, found out that was a great storage area for the annex room, and so that's where I kept it. Just because a family of four in a Jeep Wrangler, storage space is limited, and so
You
if
ran
we
out of
want
space
to be-
quick.
Yeah, and so
You learn to do laundry
yeah.
on the road, that's for sure.
It's, yeah, you only take a few outfits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So what would you tell other parents who may want to get into overlanding as a family?
Start simple.
Yeah,
Just start simple.
just get out and camp. If you have to do what
$100.
we did, you can go and buy a cheap tent.
Mhm. Go in your
the-
truck or whatever.
yeah,
Just go.
The memories sitting around a campfire as a family is worth every little effort that you go to do. And if everybody takes to it, you can evolve from there. You can upgrade. You can go other directions, just like what we did. And that's exactly kind of in a way the way that we started out was in a tent with our family. Well, more or less with our family, and we found out little tips and tricks. You know, and the same goes for RVing. You know, we were in travel trailers.
Started in a cargo trailer, actually.
Yeah, close to 10 years. And, you know, every step and every trip that we made, I found out something else that we'd want to take or something that we didn't use that I could leave behind. And it's a growing process. Don't feel like that you're limited by anything that you have.
Or that you have to
hand.
have this. You don't have to have this.
No.
No.
You don't have to have the latest and greatest and the bells
No.
and whistles to have a good time. You
No.
definitely don't.
Absolutely not.
Tony says family time around the campfire is hard to beat. That's the truth.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Very few good stories start with I was sitting at the house.
Yeah, no.
watching the TV.
And the kids they're growing up so fast these days, you know, just
So fast.
Exactly.
Ugh.
trying to get them out anymore to do things gets more challenging as they get older.
It does. And
You know,
just
do
getting
things like
them to
this.
slow down with growing up so fast. Like there is no rush.
Yeah.
All that stuff will be waiting there for
Yeah.
you when you grow up.
Adulting is not that great.
It's not that
What
great.
you're in a hurry about.
Take it from us, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You're not gonna like it when you get there for a bit.
No.
So
There's bills and paints and
the
aches
tax
and pains
man.
and taxes.
Tax
Back
man.
off people.
Mortgages and car payments and
Daycare and all the things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Now
the
I'm
things.
depressed.
Yeah.
I
Anyway.
want to be a kid again.
Stop. So the floor is yours, Chase and Crystal. If somebody wants to follow your story, tell the crowd how we can find you.
Well, we are on Facebook and Instagram. Instagram is probably one of our more active sites. We are at AR Family Expeditions, and we're trying to somewhat get into the YouTube aspect of it. I'll have to admit, a lot of the holdback on that is myself, just because of watching other videos and other makers on YouTube.
But you just
I
got to do
know-
it. You
yeah,
just got to do it.
I know starting out that it won't be very good quality or as good as what's already on there, and so that's I'm kindly OCD about that, and I'm going to have to finally just jump in the water and take the plunge and do that. But we are also on YouTube. We've got a few short clips of some trips that we've done. Nothing really substantial, but we are also on there. Also, AR Family Expeditions. And thanks, Tony.
You can do it.
Oh yeah. And you'll be surprised at how quickly you pick things up and you kind of learn little tips and tricks. Our channel isn't very big as either. And I mean, we just started it like 6 months ago, and you kind of just learn as you go along. And we've been traveling full time for 5 years, but we just started YouTube about 6 months ago because we didn't want to spend all the time and effort and energy on it. And we didn't think it was going to be good enough, but you get there.
And that's kind of another one of my problems is when we hit the trails,
He doesn't take time to video. And I'm
yeah,
like,
I get so excited
Yeah.
about seeing where we're going, and where does this road go? And it's hard for me to take the time to stop and pause, set up a camera, and do stuff like that. But
You mean actually experience the situation you're in?
I
I know it's hard. It's hard.
Well, and that's just like where we were at. Between Big Bend and Moab and Colorado and places that we've been, it's you just get wrapped up in it, and I guess myself, I get so entranced by the terrain and the scenery that I want to keep looking myself, and it's
never the same.
Yeah.
It's never the same as the pictures or the videos. So that's one thing I would say is you're going to have to go yourself. But I mean, it's fun to watch people for sure.
On a side note, AR Family Expeditions will be hiring a film crew to follow them around now.
Or take
For free.
trips
You can go with them, but it's free.
Yeah. You can personal message us your tips and tricks for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely get what you're saying there, because when you do finally get to a destination, slow down to set up cameras and stuff like that and do all the things. We always want to do that, but then we just get so engrossed in everything that's going on around us and getting there and so excited, and then you realize, oh, I've barely done any filming.
Right.
I've got pictures and stuff, but I barely did any filming, so
Oh, especially when you get stuck or something and you're like, oh, we should be filming this.
right. Where's the GoPro?
Yeah.
Quick. Oh wait, we're done, Anyway. Well, Chase and Crystal, I want to thank you for coming on the show. Y'all have been great. Love hearing your story.
Thanks for hosting, and
thank you for the opportunity.
It was a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome. We loved it.
We cannot wait to see y'all at more.
Absolutely. Yes.
And maybe share a campfire soon.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll definitely have to do that.
Hey, it's spring officially, so we're gonna have to do it.
Please don't snow anymore.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, now we
So
just
much
have
more
to worry about the rains and the floods.
Yeah.
Mm,
Misty's sitting in Florida. Just let me throw that out there.
in
Oh,
Florida right now.
Yeah,
Oh, so nice.
I just want to throw that out there right now.
Donna says you won't regret being outdoors with your family. It's the best part of life.
Mhm.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Well, be sure to tune in next week at 7 Central. Stay safe. Lady Overland Radio out.
Out.
Bye.
Bye.